Hello there, Whipper here, and once again welcome back to another mod showcase, and today I'm going to be showing you a mod called the More Swords mod, which adds 11 new varieties of swords into Minecraft, which you can see here. And there's one really overpowered one called the Adminium Ark, which was what Bedrock was called back in the good old days of Minecraft, before it changed to Bedrock, and that one does a ridiculous amount of damage, and it's only accessible in creative mode. But apart from that, all of these swords have no special abilities really, they just do a base amount of damage. But the idea with this mod is that it adds a whole host of custom enchantments into the game, and these custom enchantments can only be got on certain swords. For example, this Dawnstar can only have the enchantment effects Ignite and Sparks on it, and no other swords have these enchantments on it. So if you were to enchant a crystalline blade sword in an enchantment table, you wouldn't be able to get the Ignite enchantment on it, pretty much. So that's how this mod works. And what I'm going to do for this mod showcase is I'm going to first off show you all of the new swords, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through all of the new enchantments, showing what they all do. But by the way guys, if you could shoot for 600 likes on this mod showcase, that would be awesome. You have been very good with the liking, and we've managed to reach all of the goals I've set in the past, so I'm sure you'll be able to reach 600 likes on this mod showcase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by showing you how to actually obtain some of these custom enchantments. So let's just open up this enchantment table here and whack in a Dawnstar sword and give it a level 30 enchantment, and no luck so far. I'm just going to keep doing this until we get a new enchantment. There we go. So on the Vampiric Blade, we've got this Feast 2 enchantment, and I wouldn't be able to get this Feast 2 enchantment on any other sword, only the Vampiric Blade would be able to have this enchantment on it. So yeah, that's pretty much a basic overview of how the enchantment system works. Of course, you can actually enchant an enchantment book and get one of these Feast 3 effects on it, or a Frozen Aspect effect, and then put this on whatever sword you like, but you can't naturally get these enchantments on these swords if you just whack the sword in the enchantment table. So, yeah, just a little demonstration here. I can put in this Feast effect on the Crystalline Blade here and get Feast 3 on that, whereas by default the only thing I can get it on is the Vampiric Blade. So yeah, that's pretty much an overview of how this mod works. But now I'm just going to go through all of the different names of the swords. So, first up we have the Dawnstar, which does 6 damage, then we've got the Vampiric Blade, which does 7 damage, then we've got the Gladiolus, I can't really say that very well, which does 6 damage, and then we've got the Draconic Blade, and look how epic these item names sound. I mean, come on, Draconic Blade sounds so evil. And then next up we've got the Iron Sword, and then we've got the Crystalline Blade, then we've got the Glacial Blade, the Aether's Guard, or the Aether's Guard, whichever way you say it, and then you've got the Wither's Bane, and no, not the real Bane, not the one where you speak into a cup to sound like him. And then we've got the Adminium Ark, which is the cheat sword, which you can only get in creative, and then you've got the item.msm holiday name, which is probably a sword that they just added for a special event like Christmas, and never removed it, and it doesn't have any custom enchantments whatsoever, so it's just a pretty terrible sword overall. So now I'm going to go through all of the enchantments, showing you what each one does, and I think I'm going to be using these iron golems here as test subjects because they have a lot of health, so it's going to be easier to show you how much damage these swords do because they're not going to die instantly. So the first effect I'm going to show you is the Ignite enchantment, and this one's pretty similar to the Fire Aspect enchantment. It just sets mobs when you hit them on fire for a certain duration, and the duration of effect increases with the level of the enchantment. So I've got Ignite 3, which should set this guy on fire for 6 seconds or 6 ticks of damage. So there we are, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, and that's 6, and it should go now. Yep, so it does 6 ticks of fire damage, which overall is about 12 damage in accordance with the sword's damage as well. So yeah, that's what that one does. And then next up we've got the Sparks enchantment, and this one's a bit peculiar, and I'm going to be using zombies to test this one out, of course. Actually no, I'm going to be using creepers because they don't burn up in the daytime. So we're just going to place down some creepers, and then if I hit one of them with this Sparks, you can see all of the ones apart from the one I hit got set on fire. And that's because when you hit a mob, any mob that's within a 2-block radius surrounding the mob you hit will be ignited and set on fire, but the mob you hit will not be. It's a bit of a weird enchantment effect really. I can't see where it'd be practical unless you were like being attacked by a massive horde of zombies, then maybe it'd be useful, but apart from that I'm not really sure why it's a very useful enchantment. But yeah, so that's the Sparks effect, very niche kind of effect, that one. But then after that we've got the Feast effect, and this one's a bit peculiar as well. Pretty much what this one does is there's a very small chance that every time you hit a mob, some of the Durability of your sword will be added back to it, and I think it's between 0 and 3 durability will be added back to it each time you hit. So yeah, it just like extends the life and duration of your sword and how many times you can use it, and I can't really demonstrate that since I'm in creative, but yeah, that's what that one does. And then next up we've got Vitality, and I'm going to say this one's probably one of the cooler enchantment effects, and this has a new special ability which you have to activate by right clicking. And if I right click now, you can see it gives me health boost 2 and regeneration for about 3 seconds, and that's pretty much what it does. And just to demonstrate this in survival mode, like so, if I right click, you can see it's taken away half of the sword's durability. I think it's 250 durability or something like that. So you can only use it a few times before your sword. Oh, whoops! I've caused a giant explosion. Oh dear. But you can only use it a few times before your sword runs out. I think it's 2 times, really, isn't it? So if we use it again, oh yeah, it breaks. So you can only use it twice. So it's pretty terrible, but it does give you some cool buffs for a short amount of time. A very, very, very short amount of time. I don't know what situation you'd have to be in to make use of that 3 seconds of regen, but oh well, I'm sure you can find some use for it. But next up we have the Venomous Aspect enchantment effect, and this one just applies a poison effect to a mob. And no, I've just angered this iron golem, and I'm in survival, so he's gonna like try and murder me. But look at that, so it just poisons him for 3 seconds, as you can see there in the top left. In that damage indicators display, it just poisons him for 3 seconds. So that's what that one does. But next up we have the Absorb enchantment effect, and this one again is a very weird one. Pretty much what it does is every time you hit a mob, it has a small chance, I think it's about 15% chance, of giving you back some hunger. So it can give back like 1 or 2 of your hunger bars, and yeah, it's completely random that every time you hit something, you might get some hunger back. It's a really weird enchantment effect, and I can't really show you it since I can't really empty my hunger bar or anything like that, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. But the next enchantment is the Keen Edge enchantment, and this is pretty much exactly the same as Sharpness. For each level of this Keen Edge enchantment, you get 1 extra attack damage on your sword. So I've got Keen Edge 3 on this sword, which means I should do 10 damage to a mob when I hit it. And look at that. 10 health has been subtracted from the health of this iron golem. So that's pretty much all this enchantment does, but let's just kill this guy now. I'm so sorry, you just want to protect villagers, and now you're dead. I don't know why I did a villager voice, I don't understand that. Anyway, so that's what that one does. And then finally for this set of enchantments, I've got the Scorn enchantment effect. And what this one does is it pretty much just doubles the damage of the sword when you're in a different dimension. So for this one, I'm going to need to get myself a nether portal, but I can't be bothered to construct the whole thing. So we're just going to get a portal block, because why not? And 64 should be plenty. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place down an iron golem and see how much damage it does in the normal world. So there we go, just 8 damage it seems to do. Yeah, 8 damage. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the nether. Hopefully this will generate reasonably quickly. Come on. And yeah, come on. Wow, it's just not generating. As usual. Thank you, Minecraft. I've got those like chunk rendering errors. Oh, wow, that's a big hole. But anyway, we're just going to spawn down an iron golem. We don't need chunks. And we're just going to hit it. And look at that, we do 14 damage. So it's pretty much double. I'm presuming the... What are you... Wow. Okay. It just disappeared. Wow. Thank you, Minecraft, your glitchy goodness. Oh, the portal's reappeared again. So you can see there it did pretty much double the amount of damage as it did in the overworld. So that's what the Scorn enchantment effect does. But now let's go on to the next load of enchantments. So first up we have the Ender Pulse enchantment, and this is pretty much just a Ender Pearl in a sword form. So all you have to do to use this is hold it in your hand and then right click to teleport to a location that you're currently looking at. So I'm just going to look over there and then right click and I'll teleport to this location. And the range increases by 18 blocks for each level of the enchantment. So I've got Ender Pulse 3, so that's like, I don't know, 54 blocks range. And any further than that, you won't be able to teleport. So if I aim all the way over there, you can see it's not going to work. But if I aim at the Ice Lake, I should be able to teleport comfortably to that. But now let's just go back to the mainland. Okay, right, come on, work. There we go. I'm way back over here again. So it's a very, very, very useful enchantment if you want to travel around your world really fast and really efficiently. But next up we have the Ender Aura enchantment effect, and this one's a bit peculiar as well. There's a lot of really weird enchantment effects, but if I spawn down a load of, I don't know, creepers in this case, or maybe zombies would be more appropriate. Yeah, let's get some zombies down. So we're going to have to go to nighttime, of course, otherwise they're all going to burn up. But let's just go over here, and if I spawn down loads of zombies, and then just start attacking them with this Ender Aura sword, like so, you should see me randomly teleport, and it's a bit weird. Okay, wait, I have to be hit, don't I? So I need to go into survival. I think this is how it works. So they hit me, and eventually there's a small oh, there we go, I just teleported. Pretty much what this enchantment does is if you get hurt by a mob, there's a 15% chance each time you get hurt that you're going to get teleported to a random mob in a different location in the world. And of course this could be positive, you could get teleported to a sheep or something and be safe, or it could be negative, like you could get teleported to a, oh look, I just got teleported again. Or it could be negative, as I said, and you could be teleported to like a cave spider and get poisoned or something. So it's a bit of a weird enchantment, and I'm just going to go out and say, if you get that enchantment on a sword when you're enchanting in an enchantment table, just throw the sword in lava, because it's a completely worthless and really annoying enchantment. You don't really want it. But now let's go back into creative and set it to daytime again. So that's what the Ender Aura enchantment does. But then next up we've got the Greed enchantment, and this one, pretty much what it does is it just enables you to get more experience from mobs when you kill them, and for each level of the enchantment you get like a higher multiplier on the amount of XP you get from mobs. So I think, say you get like 5 experience from a zombie, if you have a Greed 1 enchantment, you'll get 10 because it's double, and if you have a Greed 2, you get 15 because it's triple, and then if you have Greed 3, you'll get 20 because it's quadrupled, and that's how it works. So if you want to get loads of experience from mobs, so you don't need to use mob grinders anymore, then this is the sword for you. But then next up we've got the Wisdom enchantment effect, which does nothing. I'm not joking at all. The mod creator, even in the topic, said he broke this feature completely by doing something. I don't know what he did, but whatever he's done, it makes it so Wisdom doesn't work anymore. I really wanted to know what this does, but sadly it's not implemented. So yeah. But next up we've got the Frozen Aspect enchantment, and we need to find a willing test participant again, so we're just going to spawn down an Iron Golem for this, and let's just hit this guy with the Frozen Aspect thing, and look at that, we've got 10 seconds of slowness that's been applied to the Iron Golem. So let's see how slow he is. Let's go into survival. Come on, you're going to chase me? Oh, I've got to hit him first, haven't I? Come on, chase me. You're going to chase me? I'm hitting you. You should be mad at me. Oh. It seems like he can't move at all. It's like the slowness effect is so strong that he just cannot move. So when this runs out, he should be able to, yeah, he can move again. Oh, that's epic. So you can pretty much make mobs stop in their tracks by using that sword. It just slows them down to a standstill. It must be like a slowness 10 effect or something. That's crazy. I love that enchantment then. That's a pretty good one. But then next up, we've got the Frost Wave effect. And this one again is a bit peculiar. And to demonstrate this, I'm again going to need to get a load of zombies out. Because, yeah, it's the only thing it's going to be easy to show it on. So if I spawn down loads of zombies and hit one of them with this Frost Wave, all of the zombies in a 2-block range. Oh, come on! Iron Golem, I'm trying to do a demonstration here. Why you come in and destroy everything? God, die! I'm fed up of this. You just killed all of my test participants. Damn you. Okay, let's try that again. Let's spawn down a load of zombies. Hit one of these zombies. You can see all of these have a slowness effect applied to them. Pretty much any mob in a 2-block radius around the mob you've hit with the sword will get a slowness effect applied to them, but the mob you hit directly will not get the slowness effect. It's again a very peculiar enchantment, and it's only really useful in very niche circumstances where you've got like a horde of zombies chasing you and you want them all to stop apart from one that's chasing you. So yeah, that's what the Frost Wave effect does, and that's actually got a really appropriate name for the enchantment. Oh, and now we've got 2 enchantments which are my favourite. We've got Ascension and Descension. Ascension would probably be my favourite if it actually worked correctly, but let's just turn it back to daytime again because nighttime's dark and I don't like darkness. But what should we test this out on? Oh, we might as well test it out on a zombie. What this one pretty much does, you can see that its body flew into the sky. That's pretty epic. Come on, can we catch it? Yay! Dead bodies everywhere. Whee! This is awesome. Come on, die in the air. Pretty much what it does is it just volleys mobs into the air. It's pretty cool. That's why it's called Ascension. And the higher the level of the enchantment, the higher the mobs go soaring into the sky. So yeah, that's why I love that enchantment. It's just a bit of a fun enchantment. It has no practical purpose really, apart from it does give the mobs some fall damage on the way back down. But it is a pretty cool enchantment. So that's Ascension. And then next up we've got Descension. And that mountain over there is the perfect prime location to test out this sword. So here we are at the top of the huge mountain. I think this is an Alps biome, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And hello there, sheep. You're very disguised, although be very careful. You're precariously placed on the edge of the cliff there. Be very careful, sheep. I don't want to lose you. Don't jump off when I do. So yeah, now I'm just going to show you what this Descension enchantment does. So don't do this unless you've got the sword in hand, because this is probably going to be deadly for you. But we're going to go into survival. I know, that's the last thing you'd probably be expecting me to do. Just heal up a bit so I don't get hunger damage. And I'm just going to jump off. Geronimo! Whee! And then I'm going to press shift. You thought I wasn't going to do anything and just splat on the ground. But what I've done is I've just pressed shift to activate the special ability of this Dissension enchant. And as long as you're holding the sword and holding down shift, then you won't have a problem and you won't take any full damage whatsoever. So you just gracefully fly down from the top of a mountain like a chicken with its flapping wings and stuff. And it's a pretty epic enchantment if you want to get down from a very high place really efficiently and fast. And that's why I love this Dissension effect. So now let's move on to the final two enchantments in this mod, and these are exclusively for the Adminium Ark, which you can only obtain in creative mode, so you're never going to see these enchantments if you're in survival mode, but they are pretty epic. So the first one I'm going to show you is the Stealth enchantment, and this one you activate just by right clicking, and I right click and you're thinking what's happened, but if I go into a third person mode, you can see that when I oh, whoops, wrong sword. When I activate it, like so, I disappear. It just gives you a permanent invisibility effect. It has no duration, you just toggle it on and off using the right mouse button. So you can see, I'm here, I'm gone, here, gone, here, gone, here, gone, here, gone. I could just do that all day. Here, gone, here, gone. What am I doing? So yeah, that's pretty much all it does. And of course, if you want the full effect, you're going to have to take off all your armor and then right click. And then there's just a magical floating sword. Ooh, you can even take your item selection off the sword and still remain invisible, like so. You can't see me at all now. And now you can. So that's pretty much how this stealth effect works. Pretty cool if you ask me. And then finally we've got this Extinction enchantment effect, and this one is not joking around with the name, it generally is Extinction. So if I spawn down loads of one species of mob, in this case creepers, and then just hit one of these creepers like so, all of them are exterminated. They're all extinct now. That's the end of green slimy things in Minecraft. I don't know why I said slimy. Are creepers slimy? I'm not even sure. Have you ever touched a creeper? I don't think you have. Because whenever you get close enough to touch a creeper, they blow your face off. So you'll never know if they're slimy or not. And wow, that was a wild tangent. So yeah, it just wipes out all of one species of mob in your Minecraft world at once in just one sword swing, which is pretty epic. Let's just test it out on iron golems. So if we just kill one iron golem, they all disappear. And look at that, some roses and some iron have been left behind. I feel so evil for killing iron golems because all they want to do is protect villagers. But yeah, so that pretty much sums up all of the enchantments and all of the features of this mod. So yeah guys, if you've enjoyed this mod showcase, please remember to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I'll be seeing you next time.